Okay, welcome to the next tutorial. Starting to get a little bit more excited now, starting to get ready to start the engine. So we've got permission to start. So Captain asks the first officer to start engine number 2. So we'd move the packs initially to off. That allows the APU bleed air to be used for starting the engines instead of for the packs. Okay, so start number 2 engine. Move the engine start select switch to ground. So N2 starts rotation. We're looking for 25% N2, minimum of 20% N2, and N1 rotation. So you can see the fuel flow, oil pressure and temperature have all increased. 25%, fuel control, switch to idle. Looking for EGT light up. So that's starting to light up. You keep your hand on here just in case you get a hot start. So this, you'd expect this to click off back to off at 56% N2. There you go, switched off. And the start valve light has gone out, it's just slightly out of view here. So reasonably stable. 2, 4, 3, 6, 3. Everything looks good. So I didn't mention on that one because I was trying to concentrate on the start. So once you put the fuel control switch to idle, you want to make sure that the spar valve illuminates bright and then goes out. If it doesn't, you have to switch the engine back off and back onto stand. So start engine number 1. Ground. Displays. So watch these now as I put the fuel control switch in once I get 25% N2. %, N2, N1 rotation, up, right and out. Waiting for the EGT to rise. You see this light go out this time. So nearly 56%. Click. Start valve open. Light's gone out. Engine stable. So after a successful engine start, the first officers scan then. As you can see, still generator off bus. They don't automatically connect to the buses even though the engines are now running. So first thing to do, generator 1 and 2 switches on. And you can see then it sees that the APU is disconnected. Probe heat switches on. All associated lights out. Wing anti-ice not required. Engine anti-ice not required. Pack switches to auto. Isolation valve auto. APU off, so it should be auto, 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 on, off, on. APU switch, so we don't need the APU anymore, so we can switch that off. Engine start switches to continuous. Engine start switches, idle detent. First officer would then place his hands on the flap lever. Captain calls for the flaps. Flaps 25. First officer would reply with flaps 25 confirmed. And flap lever placed to flaps 25. Captain then does a flight controls check. Full left, full right. Check all 4 corners, and then also hold the tiller, and then a rudder check. Full left, centered, full right, centered. The FO follows through on the controls. First officer then blanks the lower engine display. Transponder set to non-TCAS mode. And finally a recall from the first officer to press the enunciator panel, and we expect to see 6 lights on both sides. 6 here and 6 here. Once you let go, expect all lights to extinguish. Captain then calls for the before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Generators on, probe heat on, anti-ice not required, isolation valve auto, engine start switches continuous, recall checked, auto brake RTO, engine start levers
idle, detent,
flap lever
set,
flight controls
checked,
ground equipment
clear.
clear. Before taxi checklist complete.